and friends. Group 2 will present about computer network. I am a member of Group 2 called Tee Yu Kuan, and my group members are Harraz, Hawa, and Aisyah. So these are our contents. We'll talk about introduction, network nodes, function and users, characteristic and types, threats to computer network, and lastly, outro. The thing I'll share about is introduction of computer network. Okay, so first of all, what is computer network? Computer network is a collection of communicating computers and other devices such as printers and smartphones. In order to communicate, computers and devices must be connected by a physical medium that supports transmission of information. Therefore, a variety of technologies have been developed for the physical medium. Next, I will talk about the most important component in computer network, called network nodes. That apart from physical transmission media, they are built from additional basic system blocks called network node. Nodes serve as a fundamental building blocks in computer networks, enabling data exchange and connecting users and devices to resources. First, we'll talk about network interfaces. They are a computer hardware that connects the computer to the network media and has the ability to process low-level network information. So second, repeaters and hub. They are electronic devices that receives a network signal, cleans it of unnecessary noise, and regenerate it. So the signal is transmitted at a higher power level or to the other side of the obstruction so that the signal can cover longer distance without degradations. So the features and features. They are distinct from a hub in that they only forward frames to the port involved in the communications, whereas a hub forwards to all port. Features and features operate at the data link layer of the OSI model and bridge traffic between two or more network segments to form a single local network. So for I will show about routers. So they are internet networking devices that forwards packets between networks by processing the addressing or routing information included in the packets. So the routing information is often processed in conjunction with the routing table. So we will share about one of them. They are commonly found in our daily life too. They are used to connect network nodes, while wire they are not originally designed for digital network traffic or for wireless. So lastly, I will talk about firewall. They are highly recognized network nodes in our life. They are a network devices or software for controlling network security and access through. So they are inserted in connection between secure internal networks and potentially insecure external networks called Internet.
Now we move on to the functions and uses of computer networks. So today we're going to take a look at four different fields: business, medicine, entertainment, and education. In business, there's resource sharing where people in a company share printers and devices. It helps to increase the productivity and also reduces the cost of new and unnecessary equipment. Besides that, businesses have allowed to proliferate online through e-commerce, and because the internet is very scalable and flexible, this allows businesses to adjust their network capabilities as demanded. Next, we have medicine, where computer networks have allowed doctors to monitor patients. They can keep track of vital signs like blood pressure and heart rate. Besides, they can also improve patient education, where with the internet, they have allowed doctors and nurses to present information to patients based on their specific needs. In entertainment, there are streaming services like Hulu, Netflix, and Spotify to help us watch movies, listen to music anywhere, everywhere. Let's not forget about online gaming, where this has allowed people to connect, socialize, and compete through the internet against one another. And finally, education. Apps like Google Classroom and Canvas have allowed online learning, where teachers can now distribute content or assignments to students from anywhere and anytime. And the internet has a lot of resources and information, making research and completing assignments and studying more efficient and flexible for students.
Hello, my name is Helena, and today I'm going to talk about the characteristics of a computer network. So, first is performance. Performance means that the higher the performance, the shorter the time taken to respond in a computer network is. Next, we have reliability. Reliability means that the computer network should always have data available when needed and should not have any failure. Next is software or hardware compatibility. So this does not limit the user to only using certain software or hardware in a network. Next, we have scalability. Scalability means that the ability to always allow new computers to be added into a network. So a great example of the scalability is the internet. Last but not least, we have security. Security is the most important characteristic of a computer network because it is the ability to prevent unauthorized access and less vulnerable to security threats such as the hackers or malware, such as virus or trojans. Next, I will talk about the types of computer networks. Personal area networks is a network that connects personal devices through wireless or wired means. For example, connecting a wireless earphone to our smartphone. Next, we have local area network. Local area network connects a group of devices in a small area. For example, in a house where all the devices are connected using wireless means, which is Wi-Fi. A campus area network connects LANs from different buildings in a certain area to form one network, for example, in a university. A metropolitan area network connects multiple buildings network into one MAN. So it spans over a whole entire city or town, and it can be connected using wired or wireless means. A storage area network is a special high-speed network that is used specifically to store large amounts of data with fast efficiency. Finally, we have a wide area network, which is the biggest computer network that spans over the whole globe. So, for example, the internet, which allows users from one side of the globe to communicate with the other users on the other side of the globe. So, it is a very big computer network.
Hi, I'm Aisyah, and next we will talk about threats in computer networks. In a computer network, threats are potential dangers that can harm data, devices, or communications in a network. There are a few key points to take note of when talking about threats in computer network. First of all, types of threats. The most widely known computer network threats consist of malware such as worms and spyware, phishing attacks through emails, text and calls, hacking, insider threats, and so on. All these attacks can cause significant damage to the computer network and must not be taken lightly. But how can we tell our network is being attacked? There are specific signs of threats that we should look out for, such as sudden slow computer performance, programs crashing or freezing, missing and encrypted files, and unusual network activity. These signs can indicate that your network is being attacked. Now that we know the signs, how do we deal with them? Once a system is corrupted, the user should isolate infected systems, change compromised passwords, and eliminate unauthorized access to prevent the threat from spreading further. Lost data can be restored if there are backups. However, if the situation is too severe, it is advised to seek professional help to handle the threat safely. However, the best solution is to prevent the threat before it happens. Some prevention measures that can be taken are to create strong and unique passwords and use antivirus software to minimize the possibility of attack. Important data and files should also be backed up regularly to ensure it can be restored in case of loss. With these steps, we can increase safety and keep our computer networks functional at all times.
As an outro, I would say that computer networks will keep on improving as we advance into a more technological future.